Welcome to Fun is Fundamental. Fun is Fundamental is a podcast for those who realize that the enjoyment of life is about having something deep in our souls which lights our fire. It's for those who maybe have lost that fire and feel like they are missing out on the pleasures of life. In each episode, I will share recent fun activities and focus on why having fun is essential for good health. I'm your host, Alenia, and I invite you to take this journey with me and join the pleasure-seeking movement. How are you doing today, Fran?
Good. I'm good. Crazy energy right now for sure. But I guess we're all kind of holding on to our hats and seeing where it's all taking us. So,
Yeah. I know. It's like, oh, this is
yeah,
kind of interesting.
it is
Hmm.
very
Yeah. Uh, how about how's your weekend going generally? How was your fourth?
very quiet. My husband's out of town and he's in Michigan and I'm having this solo time, which is very rare.
Hmm.
And so it's a little strange, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it. So it's been really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I it's the same thing with me. It's like my husband and I are like always together. And then when he's like, gone for the weekend or something like that, I'm like, the house is quiet. I can do whatever I want, like it's fun. It's a nice thing to kind of like I don't know, it kind of like just puts you back into like yourself a little bit, like
Yeah.
you can kind of
Yeah.
go back and like you enjoy the things that you always, like that came natural to you before you were in a couple kind of thing. Yeah.
hmm So it's good. It's very good. And I'm gonna go see my kids next week. And so
Nice. That's great.
good.
How's the weather where you are now? Because I know sometimes it's really hot.
94. Yeah,
Ugh.
really,
Yeah.
really hot. And I don't particularly like air conditioning, but I have to.
Yeah. When it's that hot, yeah, you have to. Yeah, I remember once asking people like I was like, "Are you a windows down person when you're driving? Windows down person or air conditioning?" And like I'm definitely a windows down person. Like it's like it feels like freeing in summer and like, really great. But then once it hits a certain temperature, you're like, no, air conditioning."
Yeah, I hate to do it, but it's true
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. I guess first, would you like to introduce yourself? Like, what do you do and just a little bit about your journey?
Yeah. Well, I was grew up in a metaphysical home and believe that mind never matter and we're this perfect instrument and that we can heal ourselves basically. So that's how I grew up. At the same time, there was a lot of music and dance and very fun household.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of singing and dancing, and I started dancing when I was very, very young. At the age of 6, my mom had a ballet teacher coming to, we had a barn. And so she came and put a bar up, and I fell in love with ballet and dancing. And so spent years, that was my first career, dancing, modern dancer, and ballet. And so I did that for many years. And then basically, I was teaching at a Montessori school, and one of the parents was a doctor from South Africa opening an alternative center and said, Franny, you can see energy. And I went, really? So what's that? So I was doing it all along all my life. And, I would have these dreams to come true. And I had guides and, I just thought everybody did.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I want you to start training with my trainer out of California, Rosalind Briere, who's a medical intuitive and will teach you about running energy on the body and all about that. And that I just took to that like a sponge. I mean, it's just like I've been a healer before many lifetimes. And so all of that side of me started waking up, like the whole spiritual side, the whole metaphysical side, plus movement. So it was a natural process of putting movement in my hands to heal people.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that, and then I had a near-death experience when I was 12. So that sort of shifted my whole soul thing. And then I started teaching on my own. I started doing my own method, and it was deep meditation through Gloria Hampshire and John Friedlander, who are clairvoyants that I studied for many, many years. Found out more of my abilities to heal and sort of in my past um, lifetimes. And it just kept unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And I said, oh, a word Shiva was channeled to me, seeking harmony and energy, voice, and action. And that was my call, so to speak, to create this method for self-healing.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the my father died in 94. And a year later, or 2 years later, I got cancer. He had cancer, died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the emotional component of loss and first chakra. And so stage 4 cervical cancer, and they said you have to take everything out. And I said, no, I don't. And we have to take all of your everything out. I said, mm-mm. Found another doctor. I said, this is what I do. Before I even I just met Rosalind, I think, and I was actually in the process of doing my own healing on myself before I knew what it was I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it was a 5-year stint of going to the doctor every 3 months and seeing if the cancer had reappeared. And so basically, I was actually learning how to kill the cancer cells in my body and befriending the fact that, we all have cells, and our emotional component of what happens in our lives sometimes manifests in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put 2 and 2 together and said, of course, but I'm still whole. I'm still okay. I'm still can work with this and do this. And quietly, I did it. And then that's when the method really began to, I said, we can do this, and I can teach people how to do this. I can teach people how to understand that life isn't perfect and we're human and we have things that happen to our lives that, the red flag comes up, and then we look at that and maybe a different perspective, and then try to understand that the perfection of our own body is there to heal us if we say hello to it. So with that, I was developing also, my kids went to college, and I got into Enneagram because I was really emotionally distraught when my kids left.
Mm-hmm.
Enneagram is a study of personalities by a man named Gert Schief, and who studied movement all over the world. And he just felt that we were all one. And he would choreograph these pieces like a Sufi dancer kind of energy, that we end up always being just one, as one unit. However, we look at life either through the mind, body, or heart. And so eventually the Enneagram became more of a psychological interpretation of how we navigate through life.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied that for 2 years, became a facilitator to understand the traps of the human ego, and applied that to the method. So if it was not a personality calling you, but then it might be the body, or might be the soul, or the heart, or what's misaligned.
Mm-hmm.
So the method is about body always, because I'm a dancer, and it ends up reflecting in the body. But if you understand the cues, then that gives you a impetus to work with. So whether it's emotional, spiritual, physical, or mental. And that's how it evolved. And then I wrote a book called Emergence in 2019. And that's about studying the chakras and energy and quotes. And it's just a lovely little book to put by your bedside.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just evolved
Yeah,
and it
definitely.
keeps evolving. So,
Yeah. I guess I'm curious like to, talk maybe more about like movement and like connection to the body because I feel like people, modern society, we're so like in the brain, in the head, it's like and like really a lot of people like completely disconnect from their bodies. And I understand like sometimes that's a trauma response. It's funny you talked about having a near-death experience at 12, and I almost drowned at 12. So it's like I was like, oh,
oh,
I understand this, But like, yeah, like having like, a lot of people like disconnect from their body when like something traumatic happens. Also, yeah, I guess I just, want to talk a little bit about like, you know, how have you like remained really connected to your body, especially like with like something like that happening? And obvious, and like, do you have any advice for others that like are struggling to like have a connection with their body? Because, I think like we try to think our way through, anything that comes up instead of like really like settling into our body. Yeah.
mhm. Well, the I think people don't know how to. I think there is this separation of, the body that has its own language and, as I said, cues. So obviously, the cancer was a wake up. I mean, and so I looked at it as, oh, it's in that part of my body, of course. Um, it's all about the root and creativity, losing my head. Three kids, three young kids. My mother was falling apart. My sisters were not around. My husband was in another, traveling or working. And it's like it just landed on me, all of the emotional stress of his death. And, his loss was emotionally really disrupting. And so the body will, it's almost like the body just said, okay, you need to stop. You need to slow down. You
Mhm.
need to figure out what this is and how you're going to attend to it. And to me, that's when the inner voice and the ability to actually stop and listen and understand that this mechanism has a tremendous amount of information
Mhm.
if we just listen. So when I say that, I know that's easy to say, but how do you do that? So that's why I designed this movement, because the movement is all about finding your energy, all your chakras, what's off. I'm going to go internally. I'm going to do pressure points to figure out where I am emotionally. I mean, my heart is my heart. It's the fifth, right here at the fourth chakra. If I touch my heart and I don't feel anything, I got to touch it again to start feeling emotions. What is it that I'm missing? Um, so identifying those places, your meridians, your energy flow, where's the energy stopping? So that's an acknowledgement. Then you have to go internal. You have to inquire. So this method is all about self-inquiry, and whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental.
Mhm.
That's the study, because it's a study of you. I'm not doing it. I'll just give you the tools.
Mhm.
So for instance, let's say you have a best friend, or you have a friend that sort of rocked your world and didn't really support you, or did something that was totally off, and you were like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I'm really hurt. I'm really upset. I can't believe this person did this to me. on and on and on, right? So there's this sort of severing of this relationship that you had. So you're grieving and you're angry. So the first thing you do is not write, not do an email. You go in and you say, okay, this has happened. Something, maybe we were ready to clear the karma and separate at this time because we're going in different directions. So let's just look at that for a minute and clear the energy so that, okay, I may not be able to um, what they call forgive,
Mhm.
um, but I will look at the situation because it's up. And then I will study where I need to be, not what I need to do for that other person. So you pull your energy back, you take a breath, you start healing the wounds, and you just let it go for a while. You just let it go.
Mhm.
So that those are two different ways. You can go forward and attack, and you can go forward and throw all your emotions out there. That's going to feed them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Makes sense?
I think so, yeah. Um, of course, I think, obviously for in that situation, like there's always like you could forgive them and then also still sever the relationship. Like because forgiveness is really for yourself, not for the other person. Although
Right.
obviously the other person does benefit from you forgiving a lot of times. So yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think so. When I say pull your energy back, that means submitting to coming to relieving yourself
Hmm.
of and giving yourself space to heal and let that person go
Hmm. Yeah.
without um, anticipation of what you think they might do or how they respond or
Sure.
so you pull your energy back and you let them have what they need to have.
Hmm.
So I mean, I do that in my work where I cut cords and release the energy and send it back to their guides, not them, because then there's expectations if you send it right to them, because then you're going to want a response.
Hmm.
So it's that kind of energetic switch. So you can repair,
Hmm.
move on.
Yeah.
So
So how long have you had been doing Shiva? Can you remind the audience what Shiva stands for again?
seeking harmony and energy, voice, and action. So that was channeled to me many, many years ago. And, I've been working on it for about 20 years. So, um, lots of history and experiences with lots of different clients and, um, pretty good success with what they want. And, anybody who walks through that door is ready to, you know, move into something different.
Mhm.
And, I'm glad I can provide some tools for them. But the big thing is that I might not be the right person for them. But just going through that door and sharing some of the experience, I will assist you, but I don't have all the answers.
Mhm.
You have the answers.
Yeah.
Um, so and it's very important that you don't impose as a healer. You suggest.
Mhm.
Um, because I've certainly made that mistake and learned from that. So, very, very important to honor that person.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Um, I do find that like even when someone is not necessarily the right person for, them for a healer, it's still like just opening that door, I feel like always like puts you in line to like be on the right path to find the right person to help you.
right.
So
it's like, it's nice to be part of like the healing process, even if you're not like, right in line, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It, to trust our instinct and our intuition is what I do a lot of support in that area where, you know, your ability to intuit what is right for you is, we all have it.
Hmm.
We really do. And it's just opening up that little pineal gland and, the center of the head, and looking at things from another perspective so that you can allow that soul to come forward,
Hmm.
figure out where you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of people in our society, we're trained to like to ignore our intuition. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do, and you know, don't question it. And so people like really try to stifle that part of them. But yeah, when if you open yourself up to it, like there's so much wisdom there. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and that it's scary because it's not certain. We're so conditioned for certainty and proof, and we are all being questioned now that there is no. We're all out there in this independent, creative space right now, where we all have to be really open to understand that this energy may shift like that in a second. So it's kind of like this. Okay, so if I just open up my field a little more and a little more and let go of all that certainty and anticipation and what my ego is telling me,
Hmm.
my shoulds and my have tos and my oughts, of course, that's there, that does exist, but
Hmm.
uh, it's um it's just another opening. That's all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And yeah, the need to control everything. It's like, I mean, like the friendship kind of thing. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
you can't control the other person, and like, just, you know, being able to just kind of like let that go is like very freeing, you know, all the
yeah, it's
things that you
hard.
can't control.
Right. It's hard sometimes, but it just seems that I think honestly, I think we all are going through a evolution of finding those that fit for us,
Hmm.
and I think that's coming quicker, where we're not gonna waste our time on those that we don't align with.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, as much as I've complained about technology the last couple of times we've met, it's a beautiful thing, like the way that we've been able to connect with people. Um, like obviously in person is something that we still obviously need and crave, and like there's something about having like physical touch and like, things like that. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to like have a connection with someone on the other side of the world because of the
Mhm.
technology that we have now.
Oh,
So,
I know.
yeah.
I know. It's so right before this, I did a video on just, being okay with feeling a little lost and being okay with understanding that creative place is there. Just don't chase it. And
Hmm.
so I'm doing it, and the mic fell twice, and I thought I said, I'm keeping it. It's just like, it's so funny.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and like I've definitely experienced this like with like doing the podcast. I have been making efforts to speak better and not have as much filler words. But at the same time, I'm not editing out like I used to. Like I used to be like, oh, I said like, I'm gonna take that out. Um, so
Mhm.
now it's like now I'm just like, whatever. It's there. That's how I speak. Like
Right.
that's me. As much as I feel like I don't sound like I want to sound. I don't sound as like sophisticated. I sound like a valley girl, but it's just that's how I speak. And I might be evolving in not using those filler words as much. They're there still, and I'm like okay with it. And I'm okay
Mhm.
for people to see that that's me.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
that,
that
that
I'm not going to be for everyone, you know.
right.
So, yeah.
It's that, vulnerability and that humor that keeps us human.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I always like to ask my guests, how do you define fun?
How do I define fun? Oh my gosh. I mean, being in nature, being open, creative, listening to music, that is fun because I'm out of my way.
Hmm.
If I'm out of my way, fun just happens because
Yeah.
it's there. And, I love we went to a ranch and we were with horses and nature. I mean, how lucky are we?
Hmm.
Just so grateful to even this, have the ability to do what I love to do. And that's fun.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I've started trying to like have a little like listen to some music before I go onto my chats. Um, I think just because it just like puts me into like a different headspace. So yeah, I totally get that. Like it's like, yeah, that's like such an easy, it's like the simplest like way to like kind of like realign yourself, I feel like in a way. It's like how easy is it to
Absolutely.
just put some music on and suddenly you're like in a different place.
Very powerful.
Mhm.
Very, very powerful. I mean, I just, humans can do amazing things, and that's inspiring in itself. I mean, each
Mhm.
piece that, I do all these playlists because I've done it all my life with dancing for years and teaching for years. And, the minute I just did a thing on that, a video, I said, yeah, I listened to a lot of music before I did this and dancing and just kind of pulled myself. Creating a playlist gives me an opportunity to see the bigger picture.
Mhm.
And if you can see the bigger picture, then it becomes something different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm definitely like the same way. I love like I'll just be like doing something. I'll hear like a song. I'll be like, I need to add that to this playlist that I
yeah,
have with this.
exactly.
I just like I'm like, oh, I love
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Uh,
sure.
I also like to ask my guests, what is your play personality? According to the Institute of Play, there are 8 play personalities. There's the Joker, the kinesthetic, the competitor, the storyteller, collector, director, creative, and explorer.
Hmm. Definitely kinetic,
Yeah,
definitely.
dancing.
And director, probably, I would say. That kind of, I don't know what was the last word used.
Explorer.
Explorer. Yeah, because I think that's part of the intrigue. And if I can explore and the human condition to me is just a reflection to each other. And so if I can find a way to communicate, whether it's through, movement or writing or voice, or then that's an immediate, how do I say, hello, to us as having that opportunity to connect.
Definitely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it sounds like you're also maybe a creative also.
Oh, yeah.
Generally, what do you do for fun? I mean, obviously your horse ranch.
Oh my God. I mean, that was such an opportunity. Wow. It was a big family reunion of 21 people. And, you're in nature, you're doing hiking, you're with an incredible animal of this, these horses are amazing. And, you just was out west and experienced the whole Indian vibe out there. And, it's really cool. Well, I love to hike, love to bike, horse dance, read. As I get older, I'm more private, and the joy in just having that space is good. That's fun. Also giving back, of course, especially, I don't know if I call it fun, but I call it more of a like acknowledging where we are and food banks and giving back to the world as much as.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously my podcast is called Fun is Fundamental, but obviously it's about more than just fun to like, fulfill your soul. Like you need purpose, you need, you know, I feel like finding ways to give back to the world, you know, is very important. Because I feel like, there's there's a few things that I feel like people are struggling with in the world right now. And a lot of times purpose is one of those things is like just feeling like you're just doing just to do and not like there's not like any like anything that feels like it's feeding your soul, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Also watching, my own children have children. That's wow. That's amazing. That's a really amazing thing. Having children is amazing. It really is. And fun. I had twins, so it was crazy.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
They had their own language, and they would go to each other, not mom and dad. It was just
Oh.
weirdest. And they live near each other. It's like this. It's like it's karmic. They've been together many times. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Oh,
What makes you laugh?
oh, comedians, old comedians, or someone. My sister, my son imitates people. And so this is interesting. My grandfather, my mother's father and mother were in vaudeville.
Oh, fun.
Was very humorous, could sell anything, could sell anything. So he was very, very funny. And they would always have these, things around the table all the time. And so lots of that humor has passed down through the children. And my son Charlie he'll imitate somebody and he's in the back of the car and you can't see him, but he'll stay in character and he won't get out of character. And we can't even see the road because we're laughing so hard. So that kind of humor, that kind of humor is just so delightful. And you never know when it's coming.
Sure.
One of those.
Yeah.
So I love that kind of impulse. And, Charlie Chaplin was brilliant.
Hmm.
I mean, just absolutely brilliant. Not only mentally, because he could write too, but he's just so humorous with his body and
Yeah.
timing. And Bob Newhart, very funny guy. Have you ever heard of that? Stop It. Ever heard that?
I don't think I've heard that.
Oh my God, you've got to look at Bob Newhart. It's called Stop It. He's a,
Okay.
he's a therapist. It's hysterical.
Yeah, I've definitely like seen some Bob Newhart stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah.
That's very funny.
All right. I wrote it down to check it out.
Yeah,
I
I mean, yeah, I love anything that's just somebody who can stay in character and just one-liners and
Mhm.
just throws you right off.
Yeah, I feel like comedy is so brilliant and yet it's not respected enough.
Hmm.
It's like having the ability to like just like come up with some of the things that people say.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, you're a genius. Like we need to like respect comedy more than we do.
Hmm. Yeah, because they're laughing at all of us. I mean, we need to laugh at ourselves, and
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah. They talk about how like laughter is like the best medicine. And like there's really like proof that of like laughter therapy, and
Hmm.
like how amazing do you feel every time you're laughing like all day long? You're just like, oh, I feel amazing. I feel so lit up and alive and like every cell of your body feels it?
Sure, for sure. That's yeah. I agree. Totally agree. Yeah, just even just doing zingers just to get through the day.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm both, but I'm more of a cat person. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful standard poodle named Jude, who was really an amazing, amazing dog. Just, big, big guy
Hmm.
for a long time. But my cats, interestingly enough, I grew up with cats and we had a Manx cat. Do you know what that is?
Those are the big ones, right?
They're, they're kind of big, but they don't have tails.
Okay, okay, okay.
We had a white Manx and she loved to have babies. Well, she loved men and loved to have babies.
Yeah.
So
We go together.
she had lots of litter, lots of litters. And so we were known to having Kikoys. Her name was Kikoi, Kikoi babies. So we gave all the kitties away. But when I got married and had kids, I had this cat named Ava, and then she had babies.
Hmm.
Ava got on the table with my clients. She had to get into this room, scratch on the door. So she and I, if the client wanted it, she would lay on the body, I would move, she would move. She would move, I would move. It was
Hmm.
unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And so um, she died, unfortunately. That was very, very hard. But her other her babies, one other baby, kind of tried to do the same thing, but not like her. But then was doing it.
Hmm.
So the energy of they just know energy, and when it's correct or when it's aligned, there is this level of communication that just comes. And every animal I've had, it seems to happen with. It's actually on my website. I created these mandalas, and I don't draw, but I have to do this. And these mandalas, Jude was very sick.
Hmm.
And I created these mandalas and laid them on the floor. And they don't see color. but he would lay on them.
Mm.
And it took me 3 months. I said, now that energy is infused into these mandalas. So each chakra, so if you lay on a bed and lay the chakras, they're all laminated underneath you and see what's missing if you lay them out on a table. That way you can read the energy.
Mm.
So it's pretty cool. So that was dedicated to him.
Yeah, I mean, animals, we have so much that we can learn from them. They're so in tune to energy and like I I right now I'm nannying and I went to this, family's house for the first time and the dog just came right to me and the kid was a little bit like, "Oh," and his mom was just like, "Dogs know." You know. And then the kid was like, "Okay." Like I trust my dog that my dog's my best friend.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do know.
they do know. They know. Yeah. And then you're like, I trust you. If you're growling at that person, we should stay away from that person. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and I love when like places that are about healing are like are able to have animals. I feel like it's just kind of a natural, they just belong there, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So,
they do. They do. Yeah, I live in the woods and it's they're birds and it's a very sacred place and
mhm.
people come and say, where am I?
This place is amazing.
That way.
Do
So,
you have water near you also?
well, we have this quarry in the river. We're on the Ohio River,
Mm.
Cincinnati. So there's lots of hills here. It's not flat. It's pretty, very pretty.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds beautiful. Um, what makes you feel luxurious?
Mm, I would say an Epsom salt bath and lavender,
Mm.
and then putting on a pretty robe and, you know, that kind of luxury, that feeling of cleansing and clearing my chakras and
Mhm.
um oh, I don't know, driving in my car with the window open.
Wow, I love that feeling. Yeah.
Dancing with a really good partner. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Really good partner who knows how to lead.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Um, massage.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. That physical touch again, it's like, yeah, yeah. We need that sometimes, right? Yeah.
for sure.
I can think of what if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Hmm. Well, I've always wanted to go to New Zealand,
Mm.
Australia, New Zealand. I've always wanted to do that. That would be really awesome. Um, the parks and even in the States, I haven't been to the parks, these beautiful parks out west and the
Hmm.
massiveness of this where we live is amazing. You know, I've never been to Paris.
Hmm.
I'm going to Paris with my daughter in November, so that's very exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's see, what else? I mean, been to England and Scotland. I've never been to Scotland.
Mm.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Highlands of Scotland.
Mhm.
Gorgeous. What is your favorite, like your favorite foods? Like, what do you love?
Mm, I love really good fish, like walleye or something like that. I like chocolate. I'm not a big ice cream person or sweet, not a lot of sweets. Not a
Mhm.
sweet person, but love good bread. Yeah. Good soups on a cold day. Love
Mhm.
soups on a cold day. Right now, it's too hot to eat.
That's the thing. I just don't have as much of an appetite in the summer.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like, oh, it's
know.
hot. I don't want to,
Yeah.
maybe I'll eat a little fruit, kind of thing. But like we went to like another town yesterday and we ordered, I was like, yeah, I should eat some, like let's eat something. And we got like some like cheese bread kind of thing. And I ate like just a couple pieces and I was like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to eat anything. And then I didn't like eat anything like for the rest of the day. It was just like, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I just don't feel like eating. And I guess I should just listen to my body. If it's like,
Right.
fine,
Right.
fine. Yeah.
It's important. It really is just to kind of, do what it's telling you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like in the past, I would always be like, it just feel like it's like, I feel like I should eat. So therefore I'm gonna eat. And it's like, why am I forcing myself to eat? Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Um, Mountains or ocean?
Oh, that's a hard one. Um, Probably ocean, but I love mountains too. They're so majestic and, they're just so challenging, but interesting and massive.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and the ocean, of course, is always healing,
Yes.
always a beautiful way to cleanse and get back to nature.
Hmm. Well, it's hypnotic,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we like live the under a huge volcano, like you see Mount Rainier like wherever you are kind of thing in this area. And it's just this looming beautiful thing. But at the same time, it's like if you erupted, that'd be terrifying, kind of thing. And it's like we never know when it's gonna happen. But we love it so much. It's just so gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planes or cars?
Planes. Yeah, I love to fly. I like to fly. I'd like to get there quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's just go.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I mean, driving is very monotonous and
It can be, but sometimes you get to see beautiful things driving. So
that's
like
true.
there's
That's
times
true.
when being in the car is wonderful. So it, once again, either way, it
But
can be
depending on
good.
where you are,
Yes,
depending on where
yes.
you are. I mean, driving from Ohio to Michigan is not a fun drive.
No, it's just kind of a slog. It's just like straight, a bunch of strip malls.
Once you get to Michigan, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, but
Yeah. I've heard Michigan's pretty nice. Yeah.
it is.
I've never there's so many states I've never been to, so like I hear it's nice there. Um if you could explore space or the ocean, which would you explore?
Oh, probably the ocean. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, the mystery of space is there, but it's part of the intro. We're all part of it. I don't know. I just have a more ocean.
Hmm. Yeah. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Mm, superpower. Well, I would say that a superpower of love, so that when people saw me, they didn't see me, they saw a reflection of themselves.
Hmm.
They would, so I'm just reflecting them, but we're all on the same trajectory of what that actually is, because that's how we'll survive.
Mhm. That's beautiful. Yeah. Um, all right. Two more questions.
Okay.
Um, do you have any plans to write any more books?
Interesting you asked that question. I'm not sure. I might. I don't know. Um, depending on depending on what I feel like we're all going through this transition of finding this new level of clairvoyance and more ability to heal. So I'm sort of waiting for that little seed to kind of appear. And I don't know. I don't know yet. I have a lot of writings already. I write every month.
Hmm.
So a lot of my blogs are, maybe I'll do something with them. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Um, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hmm. I'm more engaged with my children and grandchildren. That comes up first. Wherever they are, I'll be visiting more,
Mhm.
probably. Um, and that the work will become more refined, and that my the method that I've already created, I have a first level already done and second level, but I want it to be accredited.
Hmm.
So that is a goal. So hopefully that will be in the works so that people can actually do the self-intriguing um, kind of teaching that they can do themselves, so that it's easy to. I'm trying to make it easy to go down that path without, because I've done all the hard work. It's just now you just gotta do the steps. So hopefully that will be credited and on its way.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Where can the audience find you?
So my website is franbaileyhealer.com. And there's a sample of the Shiva method on the front page, or there's a free meditation. We're in transition of that. Something free is on the front page. And I do sessions in threes. I work in threes. Pretty powerful and very straightforward, and kind of get to the nuts and bolts of where you want to be.
Mhm.
Or there's meditations for sale. There's quite a few. And of course, there's the mandalas. But the one-on-one would be a Zoom or in person at the house. Yeah. So I'm doing a lot of podcasts. So when you go to the website, you'll see a lot of that stuff.
Everything's just the hub is
The
just
hub is there. Yeah,
FranBaileyHealer.com.
correct. So I
Uh,
have Facebook and Instagram and all that too. So
yeah. So like there's links to all of it there.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I enjoyed our chat so much. Thank you so much for being on.
Well, thank you for having me, and good luck with all your, what, do you have animals?
No, no, I don't. I'd like to get a cat, but right now we're living in a small apartment, so we're just kind of like
Oh, right,
not
right.
doing pets right now. Yeah.
You got
But
time. You got time.
yes, Yes, definitely. And I've had a lot of experience with having, especially cats, because cats have a way of like adopting you.
Mhm.
They'll just like show up at your door and they're like, "You're my family now," and you're like, "Okay, I'm enjoying like having you here."
Mhm.
So, eventually, I'm sure we'll have an animal, but um, yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been a joy, and best of luck with your nannying and your life moving forward.
Thank you. You as well.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Take
much.
care of yourself.